Hello again. Shall we finish, Heidi? We have 2 chapters left. Let's go. We're up to chapter 5. It is called Peter's Plan. Before sunrise next morning, Peter crept to Grandfather's hut. All was quiet and still. Quiet and still. There he is, creeping up the mountainside as the sun is barely coming up over the top of the mountain. What's he up to? Just as Peter hoped, Clara's wheelchair stood by the door. Noiselessly, he pushed it to the edge of the mountain and rolled it over a steep, stony cliff. Look at that. Off it goes over the side of the mountain. The chair hit the rocks with a terrible clatter. An endless echo followed its fall. Bang, clang, again and again. Peering over the cliff, Peter saw the jagged rocks had smashed the wheelchair into 1,000 pieces. Peter looked at what he had done and fled. Look at the wheelchair smashed up over the side of the mountain. Naughty Peter. When he arrived at the hut for the goats, Heidi told Peter about Clara's chair. The wind must have caught it, she said. Grandfather has to carry Clara everywhere. Can you see Grandfather carrying Clara? Because her wheelchair's all broken. Then Clara will have to go home, won't she? Peter demanded. Aha, murmured Grandfather. I think I know who blew that puff of wind. What do you think Grandfather means by that? Heidi was shocked. Did you do it, Peter? She asked sharply. Peter went red. I'm sorry, he stammered. I wanted her to go. You don't have time for me now. Peter, you must hate me, said Clara. You think I've taken Heidi away from you. Never mind, Heidi interrupted. We can all still be friends. But Grandfather shook his head. Mr. Seaman may not be so forgiving, he said. Clara's chair is still broken. If only Clara could walk, said Heidi. I do feel stronger, Clara whispered. Perhaps I could try. She edged herself forward and put her slender feet on the ground. Grandfather gently took hold of her hands and helped her to stand. My legs feel so weak, said Clara, trembling. Be brave, said Grandfather. Slowly, Clara put one foot in front of the other. Clara wobbled, but Grandfather supported her. Rest now, he ordered. You can try again tomorrow. And there he is, supporting her as she tries to walk. Every day, Clara walked a little more. Hungry from the exercise and fresh mountain air, she wolfed down huge meals. Strength flowed into her, and she tingled with energy. Won't Father be amazed, she thought. Now we're up to chapter 6. It is called A Surprise for Mr. Seaman. A few weeks later, Mr. Seaman arrived for Clara. He hardly recognised his daughter, with her glowing face, bright eyes and thick shiny hair. Here he is coming up the mountain, and there's Clara waiting for him with her arms outstretched. You can see the goat in the background. When Clara stood up, he was astonished, and when she walked up to him, he had to sit down. Is it really you? He said. I can't believe it. You're walking. Isn't it wonderful? Laughed Clara. Grandfather and Heidi made it happen. And Peter, Grandfather put in, his eyes twinkling. And here you can see Clara running to her father as everyone watches on. You did it, Clara, said Heidi. It was your hard work. It's a miracle, Mr. Seaman beamed. Clara, I'm proud of you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Isn't that wonderful? She can walk again. You must come back to the mountain whenever you want, Heidi told Clara. And you must come to Frankfurt. Peter too, said Clara. We'll find the ragged boy again and dance. There they are, chatting to each other and saying their goodbyes, aren't they? When Clara and her father had gone, Heidi and Grandfather went outside to watch the sun set. The sky and mountains shone red gold, just like Heidi's first evening. It's beautiful, said Grandfather. Once I was sad and lonely, he told Heidi, but you've made me a happy man. And there they are, watching that gorgeous sunset. And I think that is the end of the book. There is one more page. And this is about the lady who wrote the book. Her name was Johanna Spyri. And she was a doctor's daughter, born in the Swiss countryside, and grew up loving the mountains. Heidi was first published over 100 years ago in 1881 and is still a much-loved children's book today. And here's a drawing of the lady who wrote Heidi a long, long time ago. And that is the end of Heidi. Bye-bye.